Hi, my name is Anjali Weinkoop. I'm pastry chef here at the Springs at Sherwood, and welcome to this segment of Art of Delicious. Today in our segment, we're going to be working on plating chocolate mousse. This is one of my favorite desserts, and I love making the plates look beautiful, very simply by using some of the components I have here. So let's get started. I'm going to work with the strawberries to bring some color on the plate since we're making dark chocolate mousse. And I have some strawberry sauce. I'm also going to be working with some caramel sauce and some custard sauce. Other components I have here, and I can show you all these components. I have some chocolate garnishes, and also I have some beautiful homegrown flowers and basil and some mint. I'm going to get started with strawberries first. So I have these strawberries. I like to slice the strawberries, cut them in half, and kind of basically fan the strawberries out. As I do that, what I also look at is how the strawberry is going to be placed on the plate. So simply by cutting strawberries, I tuck my fingers in and cut really thin, about 1/8 of an inch thick slices. And cut a little bit of the strawberry out as an angle. When I do a lot of these, I save all the scraps, and then we use it in making sauce, so no ingredients go to waste. And then once these strawberries are done, I fan them out like so. And they're ready for our plate. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple more of these. Strawberries are beautiful, they're in season, and I love using them in almost all the desserts. There's really not a dessert in summertime that I think that won't go well with strawberries. So even if the strawberry is not the main component, I'm tempted to use it, and I do use it, and they're just these beautiful and delicious fruit. I have a few ready for my plate. I got my sauces ready, so next I'm going to show you how I've prepared my sauce. I'll take the board out of here and start a little bit of sauce plating. So anytime I make sauces, what I see is that these sauces have, they do have similar texture and similar consistency. So I'm going to show you how we check it. This is my custard sauce. I have my strawberry sauce and caramel sauce. So not only do these sauces bring contrast to the plate or to the actual dessert, but they provide this beautiful color array on the plate. And so I'm just gonna run my skewer into it just to make it, just to check that if it's going to work for us. And these work really well. So I'm gonna do some plating. I have my custard sauce. These squirt bottles work really well for saucing, for plating. Sometimes the caramel sauce can get a little will change the texture. Sometimes the caramel sauce will have a little different texture because of the cold cream in it. So it's recommended that we pull it out of the fridge for a little bit. I'm just gonna run my skewer in back and forth pattern just to create a lovely pattern on the plate, like so. And I have a little bit of mousse that I'm gonna use, just a good cheating technique we use as pastry chefs, so that our plates, our dessert doesn't move everywhere. Otherwise we can end up, as the wait staff is picking up the plate, and they can end up just sliding the dessert off of the beautiful design. So just to avoid that, you know, we make a little food glue. So I have my little cookie here, and I'm gonna get my mousse out of the fridge. Here's the mousse, and I'm gonna place that onto the cookie like so. You can see even with the cookie, even with the glue, it can slide off just a little bit. The cookie is simply 4 ingredients put together. It's egg whites, sugar, flour, and butter. And it's all mixed together, and you spread it onto a beautiful, just make like a round stencil is what I did, and spread the cookie paste. It's called tuile cookie or tulip paste, and we spread that onto a sheet pan with the stencil, peel the stencil off and bake it for maybe 4 or 5 minutes. And once it comes out, you shape it immediately. So these cookies are individually shaped, you know, using perhaps a muffin top, like a back side of a muffin tin, and then you place the cookie so it kind of forms this cup-like consistency or shape, excuse me. And then you can use it as, you know, to scoop ice cream or other mousses, and it works out really well as a nice fruit basket and looks really beautiful. Not only that, it also provides this beautiful texture, this crispy element. As pastry chef, I always talk about bringing several components or several textures on the plate. So we have this nice creamy sauce, and we have the soft and cold mousse, and then we also have this crispy cookie. So as you're finishing your meal with this last course, it works out really well that you're getting all these different textures and the experience of different textures, and which kind of ends up leaving a nice lasting impression on you. So it's just a sweet finish to a nice meal. And other things that can be added to a plate like this, monotone works really well. You know, if you do like all caramel, custard, chocolate, and cookie, it works out really well. But if you wanted to add a splash of color, basil leaves or mint leaves go really well with desserts, especially because mint is something that we consume at the end of the meal. So it gives your mouth a little bit of freshness, and it's also a great digestive, so you can, so that works out really well when we're making it for, or when we're placing it on the dessert for, garnished component. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I have my I have basil here, and it's sitting in cold water that I just picked. And what I do is I place it onto a nice paper towel just to blot excess moisture, perhaps, and use that on my plate like so, and that would be my finished dessert. So anytime I work on my desserts, I always make sure that the 3 components are always present. The sauce, the actual dessert, of course, and then it's a crispy component. So like a lot of desserts come with that sort of component. You know, like let's say our simple apple pie. You know, you serve this nice crispy texture on the outside, and then you have fleshy, sweet apples. They're warm, and then you also bring beautiful, like perhaps soft, cold whipped cream or ice cream. And so you have those three components that make a nice plated dessert, and that's what I like to focus on. It's not simply dessert on a plate, but it's actually plated. It makes you feel special. It makes anybody who eats it feel special. It's individually designed plate. So these are some examples that I'm producing for your enjoyment, and you know, and they could change a lot of times. It just simply depends on the mood I'm in, or sometimes the dessert just talk to me, the plates just talk to me, and you know, it's something that I've seen maybe on TV or in a magazine, and then I just jump at it and I say, oh, this is something that would be fun to do, and I make it. So so it could be floral sometimes. Sometimes it's geometrical, and so it really depends. As long as the plate looks good, it looks clean, it looks presentable, but it also has a pop. It really pops. It makes you feel special, first of all, but a lot of times I get told, well, your dessert is so beautiful, like I don't even want to eat it. But you do want to be like really eager to put that in your mouth. Well, we know that we eat with our eyes first. So as we look at the plate, we kind of start consuming the dessert, and it should look, you know, it should taste just as good as it looks. So you want to make it presentable even before the dessert goes in somebody's mouth. The idea is, again, you know, you don't have to have fancy components or fancy tools to do or make these plate designs. You could simply use a spoon and spoon your sauces directly. With this, the chocolate here brings a nice crispy component. Notice that I didn't use any cookie on that particular dessert, but we still have the soft mousse and the sauce and the crispy component that goes with it. So as long as we have those three elements on the plate looks good, it pops, and it tastes wonderful. So I hope you take some time. I do hope you take some time to come and check us out, take a tour here, come say hello. I would love to meet you in person. And since you are watching me, I know that you're going to enjoy these chocolate mousses in your home. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you soon.